Hey cat friends, Rob here from Products Central, feline lifestyle products.
What the hell is even that?
Let's talk about cat trees. I mean, what's the point in this channel anyway, right? At some point we got to be talking about actual cat trees.
You don't say.
Who was it?
He didn't say.
It's cat furniture for cats, because cats. Cat trees come in all shapes and sizes. We're talking anywhere from a little 2-foot tall thing to a floor-to-ceiling model. It depends on what your cat needs. Some have cardboard tube legs, which don't last very long. Others are built with solid wood posts to basically mimic actual furniture. Your typical cat tree should be selected based on your cat's needs, as well as the space that it's going to go into. In the past, I've actually built a cat tree based on what they needed for a window height. You know, oh, the window is so tall, so we want the top of the cat tree to be right about there. Okay, no problem. I've also had people contact me and say, well, we need the cat tree to fit in a certain space because we don't have a lot of space. And since my cat trees are custom made to suit the client, they get to pick what carpet that goes onto the tree, and then we go from there. Because there's nothing worse than coming into someone's house and seeing one of those cheap third-party cat trees that have like fabric instead of carpet and like oranges and greens and blues and stuff that don't match the living room at all. Basically, it looks like Uncle Larry's bowling shirt. So today, we're gonna build a full-on cat tree. It's gonna look exactly like this. Let's get catty. For this cat tree, we're gonna have 1, 2 steps, 3 steps.
Step by step.
Stop that! Stop that! Stop it! Stop it!
Okay, so first I'm gonna point out that each of these steps is 20 inches by 10 inches, okay? And what I like doing here is I like to take the post in about 2 inches, and then I like to center it. In this case, it's actually going to be 2 15/16, and I know that because I've done a whole bunch of these, and that's perfect. Just measure it here again, 2 inches, good. So I'm gonna trace around, because this is the easiest way to do this. I'm not going to show you all 3 because that's repetitive, and I don't believe in that all the time. Great. There's a circle.
I'm a circle. I'm a circle.
Now, we've got to cut that sucker.
I'll cut you.
Okay, so I'm going to clamp it down in such a way that it'll just make it a little easier for me to manage it. It doesn't really have to be like, that's just the way I'm doing it, needless to say. I really need new drill bits. That is really, really dull. Actually, I'll probably just sharpen it because I know how to do that. All right, introducing Mr. Jigglesworth, the jigsaw. Let's rapid cut this sucker. Okay, no power. Why?
I just can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power.
Oh! Hello! My name is Mr. Post. Probably a good idea to make sure that fits in there, hey? I'm not using this for the cat tree. This is just a template piece. We always need Dr. Kniffy on hand for any carpet-related processes. One of the things I like to do is optimize the way I cut out carpet pieces. You'll hear this term used for cutting wood for projects. If you can figure out which cuts will ensure you get the most use out of your materials, that's a win. Nothing worse than having a bunch of wasted materials it hurts your margins and results in unwanted waste. Here I measure for the steps. The steps are 10 inches wide by 20 inches long, which means I need to cut the carpet 14 by 24 to allow for me to fold the carpet under the steps. If at all possible, it's nice to have a straight edge on hand to cut the carpet, especially in the direction I've talked about before, where the carpet backing is more wavy than straight. And just like that, we have our carpet pieces. Here's what we're going to do. I need to make sure that this piece of wood is, we're going to look and see if is it bent more this way or is it bent more this way. Now this one is pretty straight, but I feel like it curves a little bit more this way, so that's going to be the bottom. So we're going to put it like this. So we're actually going to, just for fun, we're going to put T for top. There, done. Now we can't make that mistake twice. I'm going to make an eyeball guess on the width all the way around here because it's just being wrapped around anyway. But the key is, and I've mentioned this on carpet before in other videos, you'll notice that it's like really wide ribs going this way and narrower ribs going this way. So what I'm doing is, because the narrow ribs going this way are pretty much straight on most carpet, whereas these ones kind of get a little wavy. So on this piece, I'm actually lining up the edge of this with those narrow ribs. That way it lines up nice. Now, have I forgotten anything? No. Okay. Let's draw our circle on the inside and do it all janky. And then we're just gonna mark the corners so I know where to put this back when I glue it. Because I will be doing some gluing here. Okay. Slide it off. Put this under here so it doesn't wreck anything. And, well, I'll be damned. Where's Dr. Kniffy? Paging Dr. Kniffy. Paging Dr. Kniffy. Is it in my hand? Bam. There's Dr. Kniffy. All right. Need to cut ourselves a hole here. Have I cut myself with this knife? No, I have not. And knock on wood. There's one circle cut. All right, you can go over there. All right, you're coming back. So we're just gonna do a quick little checkeroni here, make sure it's all lining up still. You don't want to assemble anything without doing kind of a dry fit. Okay, good. Let's run some glue all the way around. I used to staple this, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea of gluing it better. Good. Nice and tight.
You are tight like a tiger.
That way the carpet doesn't peel up at another time. Yeah, like I said, I used to staple this from the other side all the way around, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to cut these corners off. Now, we're going to do this a special way. It's not going to be the way we did a base. The base is done a little differently. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to take this is, by the way, this is a 1/2 inch plywood. So this is 1/2 inch plywood. So by putting it on edge and running it like drawing lines this way and this way. And now if you take this plastic square, which came with my Makita miter saw, we're just going to draw a little bit right there. Right there. This might seem unnecessary, but believe it or not, it's totally necessary. You'll see. Okay. And you'll notice that that kind of lines up right here. It certainly does. Now the whole point of that is, and I'll just sort of do this one in front of the camera, and the other 4 I'll just do in speed mode. So the point is that you'll cut it here, and you'll cut it here. That, like that. And then when you fold this over, and you fold that over, they're actually gonna come together. That way it looks kind of, you know, kind of professional, as opposed to being slightly unprofessional.
It looked a little unprofessional.
All right, now let's do this in fast mode. There it is. Now what do we do? Well, I always start on this end, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna bend it up and around. That way we definitely get it wrapped good. Now, we need the stapler. Staple away. I'll do this in fast mode. Now, we got ourselves a step. This is feature 1 of the cat tree. Hello. A step. Okay, now notice how the corners look. So what we'll do, that's pretty flush. It's not bad at all. Not bad. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run a little bead of glue here. Like that. Might be too much, but it's okay. Just sort of pinch the carpet together slightly. Not too hard. And then you got a nice perfect end. Do the same here. Just a film really is what you need. And that way it just hides the corners, makes them look better. Little attention to detail things that my competition might not do, but I do. Now, there is a little bit of a smeg up here. No one's gonna notice it, but I notice it. Notice there's a little bit of a gap there. Well, you can just repair that with the hot glue as well. Obviously, you'll get that seam, and then we'll just kind of hit this area a little bit with the hot glue and fiddle the carpet together. So I'll get that first, and just sort of fiddle the carpet together. There. Nothing happened right here. Okay, that's one. That is one step. That's step 1, if you will.
Oh, no, you can't! I won't do it!
Now, I'm going to do the other 2, but I'm not going to show you how I do it because it's exactly the same.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we have this nice and luxurious post. And the way this works is we're going to have one this length with carpet garnish on the top and the bottom, and then rope in the middle. This is a 24-inch post. We'll have a 36-inch post. It's basically the exact same thing. I won't show making that one because, well, I don't want to bore you to death.
On board, let's go.
And then there's going to be a 12-inch post, but we're just putting carpet on that one. So, you know. We need to do this first. This is my center finder. You've seen me do this before, but I'm going to do it again. Center. Center. And center. And I'll do the bottom. Oh, I should probably note that I actually stuck a level on this to make sure these are level. And there is kind of a process involved, but there's no point in showing you that.
That's boring. You're boring everybody. Quit boring everyone.
All I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out exactly where the middle is so that I can take drill bit. And fire a hole, not very deep, doesn't matter. Okay. And then right. Now we know that's top because I wrote T on it. All right, in you go, little buddy. Really? Okay. Right. Now, we need to throw some carpet on here. And I'm going to show you how I do that, even though I've shown you before, but I'm going to show you again. So I've cut these two pieces, and I should probably note something here. So these two pieces actually go together like that. And the important thing is, with this carpet, is the carpet kind of naturally lays like this way. So you want to put the carpets like the same way. Like you don't want one laying this way, one laying this way, because the carpet's going to have a different color based on the way the light hits it. Okay, so that's why I'm very mindful about making sure that the carpet is the way it is. And so we're going to give it a quick roll, because that makes it wrap around the post a little easier.
That's easy!
And we'll do the other one as well. And on the bottom part, I always go in about 3/16 of an inch. The whole point of that is you want to make sure you're going to get a little bit of clearance on the bottom when it goes into the holes on the base. And we'll do the same on this side in fast motion. I am putting a line where the seam is so that I can see that later on when I'm adding the rope. Because it's nice to know where that is. Okay, now we need some rope. All right, so we got the rope here, and we're gonna start off with a little bit of staple gun action. Get that right where that line is. That's right, kids, we're using 2 staples there.
Fire everything!
Okay, now, the gluage. This will ensure that the carpet doesn't float around too much, and it'll keep the rope against the carpet itself. Now, we're at the point where I really could use my leather gloves. So, I guess we should probably find leather gloves. Bam. Okay, that feels much better. Hey, let's get busy. As I've said in previous videos, I like to use my staple gun as a visual guide by placing it behind the post where I glued the previous wrap of rope. Then I feed 3 or so inches of rope onto the post, use the staple gun to tap it all tight, glue it, place the staple gun down at the point behind the post, and repeat until finished. And it all works out perfectly.
Well, what do you know? No more bullets.
No more bullets?
All right, the big reveal. Beautiful, huh? Hey? Like a fine wine. Not two Chavarinos. Where's the bottom? There's. Good. I try to have it so that the staples on the bottom and the staples at the top are kind of in the same line, so you can mount it in a way that you can't really see where the staples are. Because attention to detail, folks. Right. What's next? Well, let's find out. Righty-ho. So we got one more thing we got to do for the posts. And so what we have here is the 12-inch post. That's going to be for the first step. And here's our piece of carpet we're going to throw on. So you're going to make sure that it's pretty much centered. Good, that looks good. Now we're just going to do a little roly-poly with the carpet. Remember as kids, I think they called them roly-polies, those potato bugs or whatever they are, those things that rolled up into a ball? Mother Nature's weird. Ma Nature, you make some weird bugs. Now, like with all the other posts, I made sure this one is absolutely level so that assembly isn't totally annoying. Okay, so, and it's okay if you got about a 3/16 of an inch of carpet on each side. It's going to be hidden, not a big deal. That probably just made the camera shake a whole bunch. Sorry, not sorry. Of course, the goal here is to try and not be able to see the seam. But we're sort of going to be hiding the seam anyway. It doesn't matter too much. Oh. So here's the fun part. Missed a couple of these. The fun part is if you do it right, you almost can't even see the seam. And that's kind of what you're going for. I see some of these commercially built cat trees, they've just overlapped the carpet. I mean, it's unbelievable. So that's it for part one. I will show you in part two how to assemble this cat tree. And actually there's also the tray to do. And with the tray, I've already cut the pieces. You just have to see it get assembled now. So yeah, stay tuned for part two. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe and click that bell. And I'll see you next time.